My buddy Duncan was in Hawaii, either just after, I can't remember, or just before a guy got killed by a shark at the same resort that he was at.
Yeah.
Some guy was swimming and a tiger shark just took him out.
No, I'm actually working on a shark attack video now. There's a lot of untruths people talk about with sharks, I think, or maybe misunderstandings.
They just caught a bull shark in Texas in a river.
Yeah.
Like real recently. And those are the scary ones.
They are.
But those fuckers are super aggressive, and they go into fresh water all the way up to Illinois. They found them in Illinois.
Alton, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're deep in this. So you think it's a Jaws thing. So they're just trying to not... What do you think ever happened with that Egyptian one? The Egyptian one's the craziest one. You ever see that footage with the guy's like screaming for his father?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's brutal. Well, because, so again, did you know that the shark that did that, like, paraded the head around? Yeah, like, so that's one of the things that I said is misinformation. Or, I hate that I'm using that word.
Yeah, that word's been tainted.
Yeah, that word's been tainted. But, so they say it's, like, mistaken identity, or sharks attack because they're pissed.
That's why they attack? They're not
Yes.
just hungry?
Correct. I can't be certain, but that would be my opinion. Because do you remember, like, I remember when I was a kid, I saw all these shark documentaries that they would show, like, the surfer and then a sea turtle or a seal side by side. It's like, from the bottom, they don't look the same at all.
No.
And sharks are one big sensory organ. They know, and, like, where they hang out at the bottom. And then they're silhouetted by light from the top. They can see perfectly. They're in the water all their lives. They're one big sensory organ. They know what they're attacking. And I think they want people out of their water. Because that wasn't even a consumption with that guy, with the guy who was yelling Papa.
Yeah.
Whatever his name was.
While Stand By Me was playing in the background.
And that woman, oh my God, oh my God.
It seems like a movie.
Yeah, it does. And then yeah, because... You know the part where it turns him underwater and his legs go up?
Yeah.
It took off his jaw. Because after that, he's gargling.
Oh.
Yeah, and...
Popov's body was reportedly examined by forensic experts at a morgue in Hurghada, who claimed he was disfigured and with many parts missing. The shark said to have torn his head off, disfigured his face, and separated body parts that were retrieved from the sea. It's also reported the beast ripped apart his chest and ate parts of his abdomen and hands.
See, that's not an attempt to predate, in my opinion.
Interesting. So you think that people get in the way of fish and seals, and that's probably what the sharks actually want to eat? And they, like, these assholes are flopping around and farting in the water and...
Yeah. Oh. And or she just had pups nearby. There's anything like that.
There was also the story that I read about that particular attack where they were saying that some ranchers had dumped sheep carcasses. Mm-hmm. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. I still don't think that sharks know what they're biting. See, because if a shark bites something hard, it really damages them. They know what they bite before they bite it. And I agree that sharks don't see us as food. Sometimes they do if they're desperate. But I do not. I think we're far from ideal. Because if they did eat us, they would eat us all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah.
So I think... Because, like, you know how great whites in California don't eat people?
Right.
They only attack people. Because we're literally in the surf where seals like to be. And,
so we're in the way.
Right. And they know that seals probably don't like to play around where surfers are. So they're like, oh, these things are here and I'm hungry if these things are gone. And they know that if they come up and mangle someone, the rest of people are going to be gone.
Right. It'll clear the area for a while.
Right.
Is this your own personal theory?
Oh, no. There's an amazing channel called Sharks Happen. And it's so funny, too, because the guy, he's not a marine biologist or anything. His name is just Hal. He's a machinist in Michigan. And it's so funny because I fundamentally think he knows more about sharks than anyone that I've listened to. And I think it's funny how some guy in Michigan is the expert. That is funny. No. Yeah. Like, how are you getting your information, bro? He's good at, he goes back on newspapers and because, you know, to him, all the marine biologists are just so full of it. And there is some of that. There really is. Because they will skew something so far to not blame the sharks. Really? Yeah. Like this kid, probably like 20 years ago now, had his leg ripped off by a bull shark, which is terrifying to think because it like clamped onto his calf and then it in shallow water and his leg came off, not where it was bit.
Oh.
So it like ripped it off.
Oh.
And I can't recall his name, but that was not in the shark stats as that was in the shark stats as provoked because the kid was fishing earlier.
Oh.
So it's like that's a provoked attack. It's like
So fishing is a provoked attack?
being like a 7-year-old in knee-deep water after someone was fishing is a provoked attack. And
That's crazy.
And that's not in the stats the same way. So like that's not in a shark attack
Oh,
thing.
interesting. So there's shark attacks where there's no possible evidence of provocation. And then there's provoked shark attacks like, oh, you were asking for it?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the video I'm working on. I go through all the attacks in 2015 and I say like, okay, these are, I think it was like, not, I hope I'm not wrong about this, but like 11 or 12 attacks that they say are legit attacks because they were unprovoked. They were like random attacks. But then I talk about the other like 20 that were provoked attacks.
And so when you see shark attack statistics, they only say unprovoked attacks?
Correct.
So they're trying to downplay the shark attack numbers.
And as I said, there are so many people who like just get found bitten up and like, oh, they drowned. Then they got scavenged because sharks are scavengers and sharks don't eat people.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, the attacks are very skewed.
It's very fascinating to me how our attitude about sharks changed with the whole shark fin soup thing. Like all of a sudden, everybody wanted to protect sharks. Like you shouldn't fish for sharks. Like you shouldn't eat sharks. Because, you know, mako shark has always been served in restaurants. I've had mako shark a bunch of times in restaurants. It's very good. It tastes like swordfish. But suddenly, sharks were supposed to be protected. Like, Jesus, shouldn't we protect the fucking tuna? Like tuna are delicious. They don't kill you. They're majestic, amazing creatures, and we've killed like 90% of them in the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck sharks. That's what I think.